Today we're going to play one of the oldest known games, tracing back thousands of years from Africa to your friend's hippie parents' coffee table. Let's play Mancala. Hi, I'm Chris Kanuch and welcome to Playing Games. Please subscribe, comment, and like. Object. The object of Mancala is to capture more objects in your end pocket or store than your opponent does. Your store is on your right side. Mancala comes from the Arabic word naqalah, meaning to move or transfer, which makes perfect sense as this is a game all about moving and transferring game pieces. Here's what you need. A Mancala board with 2 rows of 6 pits or pockets, plus 2 larger pockets called stores or mancalas at each end of the board. Yours will always be the one on the right. You'll also need 48 stones. 4 stones start in each of the 12 smaller pits. But you don't have to use stones, they just have to be small enough to fit in the pits. You could use coffee beans. You can use dry pasta if it's small enough. We use orchiette, colorful googly eyes, or gummy bears. Setup. Setting up the stones. Place 4 stones or gummy bears in each of the 12 small pits. At the start of the game, the stores will be empty. Basic rules. The object of the game is to have more pieces in your store at the end of the game than your opponent has in theirs. Each player controls only the 6 pits on their side of the board, as well as their store. Again, which is the end pit on your right. Gameplay. Players take turns. They pick up all the stones from one of their own pits, and then place them one by one in subsequent pits in a counterclockwise direction, or to your right. If you pass your own store, you place a stone there. If you still have stones after you pass your store, you continue to lay off 1 stone at a time, but now to your opponent's pits. If you plan it well and your last stone lands in your store, you get another turn. If the last stone you place lands in an empty pit on your side, and the opposite pit on your opponent's side contains stones, you capture all the stones from the opposite pit and the last stone you placed. It's a big bonus and you get to put them all in your store. If you have enough stones and you reach your opponent's store, you do not place one of your stones in their store. Rather, you skip it. End of game. The game ends when one player has emptied all 6 pits on their side of the board. But be careful not to empty your pits too soon because the player who still has stones on their side of the board can move all of their stones into their own store. The winner is the player with the most stones or gummy bears in their store. Strategy. Plan ahead. Try to plan your moves a few steps ahead. Count out the possible spaces before you move your pieces. Maximize extra turns by landing your stones in your store and you get an extra turn. If you can do this a few times in a row, you could take a pretty good lead against your opponent. Control the board. Pay attention to the distribution of stones to control the flow of the game. You don't want to put too many of your own stones on your opponent's side, because if you go out before them, they get to take all of those stones and put them into their own store. Capture wisely. Use captures to gain significant advantages in stone counts. Try to leave some empty pits on your side. That way you can score big by ending on one of them and stealing your opponent's stones. Final thoughts. Mancala isn't going anywhere. It's just a part of us now. And you don't even need to spend a dime to play. Archaeologists have found Mancala boards made from carved wood, clay pots, and even simple holes dug into the ground. Here's a nearly free Mancala board I found in our recycling. It's an egg carton with exactly the correct amount of holes. And of course, I have plenty of dried pasta which I can use for the stones needed to play. Just cut out some stores and you're ready to go. So there's really no reason not to play Mancala. I hope you give it a try. Did I get something wrong, or do you play it differently, or just want to say hi? Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, and share to help this channel grow. Also help support this channel with a digital donation. You are great. See you next time on Playing Games. Mancala.